is where we make our stand.
The deeper I dig, the more symptoms arise. Recently, I had the first debate with a flat earther that I've had in at least a year. I'm sure you've all seen it. It was an unbelievable mess of Bible thumping, pareidolia, and citation-free claims. Throughout this mentally harrowing 90 minutes, 2 more symptoms of flat earthism rose to my attention, but there's a slight problem. I'm not a psychologist. In fact, I hold no post-secondary degrees whatsoever. I'm self-taught, 100%. That being said, I do still genuinely believe that being a flat earther is a mental illness, or perhaps a more appropriate wording is a social illness. But hell, I'm 5 parts in, I'm not changing the name now. The problem, though, is that my lack of traditional education and qualification in this matter leads me to a decision that I don't feel I'm qualified to make. Am I seeing deliberate dishonesty or delusion? I got serious Poe vibes from Flat Earth Elmo. I'm gonna call him that instead of his actual username, and you'll soon see why. But I'm honestly not sure. I've seen enough stupidity in my life to know that people can believe some incredibly dumb stuff and be completely serious, but I'm gonna need a few second opinions. I'm gonna highlight a few moments from this debate, and some of them I'll call out as one or the other, but for the others, I ask the question to my audience: dishonesty or delusion? The first incident, occurring right out of the gate, I've already made my decision on. Let's watch.
Before we get started, I've got a little bit of a bone to pick with you because you actually bailed on Dead Kennedy in Space to come and debate me, and that's a bit rude.
Thank you.
I wasn't sure when he was going to do it. That's why. That's all it was.
There's definitely comments on my channel saying...
Yeah, I know. You told me like in a few days. I was like, okay, well,
I said
what's
that
a few
day,
days?
but whatever. Dishonesty.
Because you can't even prove the core. What makes you think you could prove space?
Oh, I absolutely can prove the core. This is a basic diagram of what P waves and S waves looks like when detecting the epicenter of an earthquake. Can you tell me another geometric shape in which this works?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That works perfect on a flat Earth, actually.
How?
That works perfect. We have a center, right? We have a center. And then it shoots out in different directions. That makes perfect sense on a flat Earth, because you're thinking this thing is like super thin or something. No, this thing is thick.
No.
This thing is thick.
Here's what we're seeing.
So let's say there's a center.
Look from the top to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Look from the top to the bottom. We see the waves go down, and then on the other side of the Earth, they come up, refracted through the core. How does that work on any other shape?
That works perfectly fine on a flat Earth.
If you're standing on the sides of it, otherwise that makes no sense whatsoever.
No, this makes perfect sense.
Are we on a giant wheel Earth? It was really hard to contain my laughter at this. He never explained how it works. He just said it did, and then said he would make a video with the explanation. So, I'll hold my tongue on the dishonesty or delusion question until I see his explanation.
Okay, so I'm going to explain this. I'm going to just lay it over. This wasn't hard for me. You lay it over the flat Earth, okay? Now, where are the waves coming? They're coming from a certain direction. Now, when the core gets in the way, it seems to branch out the waves and spread it out to another section, but also go through it and also create a section with no waves whatsoever. Okay, now what else could do that? Maybe Yggdrasil, because Yggdrasil is at the center of the flat Earth.
Oh my god, he did it. He really did it. I suspected this was his way of thinking, but I honestly didn't believe it could be the case until I saw this. He just put an image of a sphere over top of his flat disc. I knew I should have lingered on this image instead. This is why I tried to drive the word down home during the debate. Can flurfs only see in 2 dimensions? Is all of this actually some kind of vision disorder? No, Flat Earth Elmo, this doesn't work.
Not a chance.
The epicenter in my image wasn't coming from the edge of the Earth. it comes from the surface and goes down into the ground. It's then detected moving upwards on the other side of the Earth. I honestly don't know on this one. Is he this stupid, or is he doing some sort of pathetic act? Is this dishonesty or delusion?
Okay, here.
What?
Okay, here. I'm going to tell you one thing I saw. I saw an amputated leg grow back. Just by people praying over it. Explain that. I can't. The only answer I have is God.
In real time? Like it grew back over like a period
of
seconds?
I was a kid. I was a kid when this happened.
Hey, if you can find me some regrowing limbs, that'd be fantastic.
They made a VHS video about this.
I'm just asking questions because I want to understand.
I wish I could find it online. I tried looking for it.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure I understand what happened exactly. A person's leg grew back over a period of a few seconds.
Yes, it was an amputated leg that someone had, and the people just put their hands over it and started praying, and it started to slowly grow back, and I'm all like, holy shit.
Dishonesty. Blatant dishonesty. There is no documentation of anything like this ever happening. This is definitely either a lie or his own broken brain convincing him that this really happened.
It's totally made up.
Next, we came to his evidence that giant animals once existed. Rocks that look like things. He went full on edgewise and started babbling about giant crocodiles and elephants found across the world, except they're just rocks, and no study has ever revealed any amount of organic material inside them. That was what I kept pushing him on. Why are there only YouTube videos of this phenomena, and no published papers detailing the process of studying the material within the rocks? In response, he said this: You're from the University of YouTube. YouTube is not a credible source.
Stop lying. Stop lying.
How is that lying? YouTube is not a credible source. Anybody can upload anything to YouTube.
Right now, YouTube is the biggest media station pretty much anywhere.
And is what I just said not true? Anybody can upload anything to YouTube at any time, given its, whatever its rules.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean everything everyone says is uncredible. Some of this, you think I believe everything
but
you
none
say
of it
is
is immediately
uncredible?
credible.
No, that's
none
stupid.
of it's immediately credible. You need further references. Just you can't just throw out a video and say that's my proof. You need to back up that video with something. Okay, let's take a quick moment and use Elmo's logic against him. Watch this. There we go. Proof that helicopters do not actually fly using the rotation of their blades. As you can see, the blades were not moving whatsoever. Pardon me? Camera shutter speed? Never heard of it. Let's try a more classic example. Let's have a look at this clip narrated by everyone's favorite, Mr. Burger King Foot Lettuce.
Number 2. The Beijing sighting. This footage supposedly comes from the capital of China, where a massive, slow-moving creature makes its way across the polluted city landscape.
There you have it. A giant creature stalked across this cityscape in China. It's on YouTube. I saw it. What's that? Stephen King's The Mist? Sounds fake. So again, the question, delusion or dishonesty? Is Elmo so stupid and gullible that he takes YouTube videos at face value, or is he just trolling? This one is so incredibly ridiculous that my Poe alarm is going off.
So guess what? You can't prove the core, you can't prove gravity. And if you're gonna say it's mass attracts mass, good luck. I'll grab a rock outside, 2 rocks right now. I'll put one on one side of the table, one on the other, and I'll wait for them to attract to each other.
This is the last point I'm going to address. I think I'm gonna go with delusion on this one. Elmo heard the phrase mass attracts mass, and he took it at face value again. He doesn't seem to understand that any gravity experiment performed on Earth is subject to Earth's gravity. Of course a pile of dirt isn't going to be attracted to a pile of dirt, unless you give them a few million years and measure it to show that they moved an inch toward each other. I call delusion on this, but you guys might have a different opinion. In conclusion, I think I'm going with deluded. Of course, he seems so incredibly, unbelievably stupid that he must be a Poe, but in that case, we'd also have to conclude that people like Russian vids are Poes. I'll leave the final decision up to you, but I'll close with this. Someone, possibly Albert Einstein, once said that two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity. And I'm not sure about the former. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe to my channel, which is Dead Kennedy in Space. If you want to support me further, consider donating on Patreon or purchasing some of my work through Amazon or Teespring. Thank you, and I'll see you over the curve, Space Cowboys.
Live there, on the mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam, in a vast cosmic arena.